Hi, people.
Hello to everyone. Like yesterday, today we are continuing this challenge, and today we are here with two special guests. Who are they? Just for a second to show you guys, but we are not gonna show you yet everything. First of all, we are here today because we want to give you something back. For the last couple of weeks, let's say, we were getting, just a second, I think, Tore or Laura, can you just maybe turn off your mic or maybe put it less? Because I can hear myself talking. Yeah.
I think you're here.
You see?
Okay, now
Yeah.
it's better.
Okay, we solved the problem. Sorry, guys. So anyway, we are here today because we want to give you something back, and today we're going to be talking about the body, about how being fit is crucial to be kind to yourself and to others, and to do something great in life. Anya, tell more about the challenge.
Yes, actually yesterday we had the first day, which was all about mindset and how having a great mindset is helping you in all areas of the life, and of course also to help the animals, the planet, and one another. And as Matej said, we already raised almost 50,000 euros in our crowdfunding campaign for the film Humankindness, the Animal Dilemma, and that's why we want to give you a lot of value back. And we have two amazing people who are all about bodybuilding and fitness, because we don't know so much about that topic.
Exactly. So because you are three, it's going to be quite crowded today. We're going to exchange a little bit. But yes, who are we? We are Anya and Matej. For those of you who don't know us yet, we are making a movie called Humankindness, the Animal Dilemma. And this movie is dedicated to the animals, to one another, and to the planet. We are doing our best to make the better future for all of us. And all of you who already helped us in the last month, because we're actually raising money for this film that is going to go into production now, because we're on 50%, but we're going to finish the film by the end of the year. All of you who already helped us, this is our gift for you, to give you something back. Yesterday we were talking about the mindset, and today we're talking about how being fit is crucial in life to be successful and to achieve what you want to achieve. And now we would really like to introduce you two guests that you saw already, but maybe just briefly, guests. Tore Washington, you go first because he has a little bit less time today than Lara. Usually ladies first, but Tore, maybe just say something about yourself for the people who don't know you yet and who are going to be introduced to you right now.
You have to unmute yourself, Tore.
Exactly.
I just realized that just before I said anything. But I just want to thank you for having me on and for being a part of this film. My name is Tore Washington. Of course, I have been vegan and for about 25 years. And it's been a lifelong journey for me, that I don't see stopping anytime until I'm in the ground, dead and gone. So I'm just here to support and show everybody that it can be done. You know, that's the goal of why I do this. You know, live by example versus living by force. And yeah, Tore Washington. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much. First of all, it's a huge honor because Tore Washington is huge in the health and fitness community. So we have a big influencer here. And also just one question that you should not ask a lady, but a man. How old are you, Tore?
And before you answer, Tore, because when we see you on your videos on social media and so on, we thought, okay, this guy is amazing. He's awesome. And by the way, I am 37, almost 37, and I thought you were younger than me. But now, how old are you?
You know, that's the irony is I get this question still to this day, every day, just about, because when people actually talk to me or even meet me, they say my energy, my vibe, and the way I look, they think I'm in my late 20s or early 30s, and yes. I will be 49 this August.
Insane. Thank you so much, Tore. I mean, yeah, we were shocked when we heard this the first time. So that's really great what you can achieve when you work on your body.
And for sure, this is great inspiration for all of us, because, you know, knowing that you can actually look fit, and not just look fit, but be in amazing shape when you're also over, let's say, 30 or 40 and close to 50, it's incredible. In any case, thank you so much, Tore, for being our guest today. Lara,
thanks for having me.
Lara is actually from Slovenia, also bodybuilder, also vegan bodybuilder. And when she heard that Tore is going to be in our film, she said, oh my God, this is amazing, because if I understand correctly, Lara, Tore is one of your idols as well. So how are you today? Hello to Slovenia, and introduce yourself, please, shortly.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm actually a coach, kinesiologist, and I decided 10 years ago that I changed my diet and become a vegan who wants to prove people wrong. So, and want to prove that you can live by example a healthy life, which you don't exploit anyone for your your goals. So I'm kind of nervous. I don't know what to say. Yeah. So actually, now I'm doing fitness, still going strong, still showing people that you can do quite a lot on a vegan diet. And I always surprise them by saying that I'm vegan for so long. I was vegan before I even started lifting. So yes, and I'm having pretty much good results. So yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you as well to being here. We are very happy to have you on board. We want to show to people solution and of course inspiration, which you both for sure feel the shoes in. So our first question is actually the following. What was your life before being so fit? Were you fit since, I don't know, childhood? Tore, Lara, did you change this at some point because something happened to you? What happened that you became fit, and why is this so important to you guys?
Laura, you want to go ahead?
Okay. Well, I was really, kind of ignorant of all of this. But when I started researching the background and all the diets, because we all wanted to be fit on some point in life, and we wanted to make it shortcut, not on the long run. So I guess I was trying everything I could, and didn't have this ethics reason beside me. But when I put all the facts together, I thought, yes, that's actually it, what I want to do, to be healthy and a healthy example, and trying to make a world a better place. So of all of the reasons, it's I guess it how can I say? Tore, please help.
Well, you always shred it, Tore.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I'm actually working on a book too, and I talk about this a lot, but a lot of my reasons for getting into fitness were more so related to wanting to have an intimidating look, in the sense that I was kind of picked on a little bit at certain arenas in my life when I moved to Jamaica and when I moved back to the States. And so during those times, I watched a lot of cartoons, because I didn't have my father was out of the picture after age 5. So I didn't have that male figure or that role to kind of give me that self-confidence to be a better person. So I looked at comic book characters, and these comic book characters were, very strong. They all had their own superpower. And the one thing that really across the board was the same in all of the superheroes is they all had a great physique. And so I wanted to emulate that in any way. And so I started to read and find out about working out. But I was in Jamaica when I first learned about working out a little bit. And I just started with whatever it was in the house. And my grandfather was an electrician. And so he had an iron weight that weighed about 12 pounds, 20 pounds maybe, that he used to solder when he was doing his electronic work. And I just started curling that, doing little sit-ups here and there, push-ups. And it's not until I came back to the States that I found out or learned about Arnold Schwarzenegger from his movies and reading about his life. And I realized that, he did bodybuilding. And so bodybuilding, once I read about bodybuilding, I started reading everything I could about bodybuilding, because that really showcased to me, okay, this is how you build that body. And so that's truly how I got into fitness.
Interesting, actually. It's completely different than wait, the mics again?
No.
Wait. It's good. Yeah, it's really different than what I've heard before, like from people like that they got into it by the comic books. And yeah, I mean, when we look at your content, it's really like interesting how shredded you are. But Tore, when you were not fit yet, like how did this make you feel? You know, did you feel less confident, or like did it affect your life negatively before you were on the journey that you're now?
So I started working out at 15. So if you can imagine, that's 33 years ago. And so prior to that, I ran track a little bit, but I was pretty active, but I wasn't in the gym. But I've been in the gym since 15 and I've never stopped. So as far as the journey is right now, I started this competition journey around 2009, and that changed because before I was just a gym person that worked out in the gym, and now I work out with an actual goal. It's more goal oriented because I'm looking to change my physique and improve my physique every time. Every year that I'm on stage, I want to look better. And at first when I started, I really spoke about my nutritional lifestyle, but not in the way to rub it in people's faces, but more so to just showcase that it can be done that way. And little did I know that the inspiration that I would create by being that way, you know, it just kind of came out of nowhere, because that wasn't my goal. My goal was just to actually get on stage, look good, and say that I actually competed. And so being fit for me is, you know, it's a lot of different things. You know, I actually tend to be I like to be very shredded. And I know some people, when I'm not as shredded, to me, I don't look as good. But to other people, they're like, what are you talking about? So, you know, we have our own personal criticism that we want to look like. So I don't think I could ever stop being fit. So it's not a thing that, you know, even if I put on 3 pounds, to me, that's fat. So,
it's your standard. It's your standard, right? You have to have it, otherwise it's not there. You have actually one lady who is inspired by you. Wow, Tore Washington, a dream man.
When I saw years ago that he was vegan and an athlete, I knew the world would finally change for the better. Such an attractive vegan man. That was really something new.
That's funny, because yesterday I went to a different event, a bachata event, and there was a lady there who was very excited to meet me. Her son, her son was so excited that she was going to meet me because he'd never met me. And she took the picture and shared it with him, and he was just super, super excited that, you know, he was that close to meeting me. So it's interesting to see that. So I appreciate it, Angela. Thank you very much.
Yes, and by the way, we didn't say this like really like big, but Tore Washington and Lara also, they will be both in our film Humankindness. So excited about this amazing bodybuilders and persons. And of course, you can still support our crowdfunding campaign for 3 days, which has been successful so far. Lara.
So, yeah, what would you say? I think, Lara, with you, it's some challenges with audio, with mic, yeah? Okay, but just tell us a bit more about like what does it mean for you to be fit, you know, or when you see people who are not fit right now, you know, do you think they're missing on something, and what they can achieve if they change this, if they became more fit? What can this change for them?
Of course, being fit, I think, because as a coach, I'm looking this through my professional eyes, because body is made for movement, you know. You can't be still whole day and expect to be healthy. That's just how it is. So being fit, first I looked at it as some kind of obsession, because it was like level 1, you know, before you started to realize that's more than just being a narcissistic little brat looking at your muscles and showing them off. So it's like the whole spectrum of discipline, consistency, having all the aspects of life basically in some kind of order. So I think being fit is really the basis of being healthy. And people don't know it until they try it, because when you switch to a healthy lifestyle, you see how you feel, and when you feel it, you want more, and you become obsessed with being more confident, more disciplined. To see how you over time you compare yourself when you were like 1 year ago, and you see the actual results, and that's the reward you get. And I think this is kind of the healthy obsession which all should people strive for. So yeah, I think it's, you just gotta, like with everything, you need to find the good reason which you always look at when you're feeling down and you want to quit. So I guess the first step is the hardest, but when you see the results, everything gets better. So
You get the momentum and then it goes, huh?
I mean, I remember, like, I think I went into, I started with sports maybe half a year ago, and I really started to love it before going to work, to do some workout and having some achievement already in the morning. And now when we started this crowdfunding campaign, I really completely lost track, because we were working so hard every day to like get the funds in, and I just stopped working out because we sometimes would just sleep 4 hours and I had to go to work. So I was like, let's just not do the workout. And I feel so more stressed now. I don't feel good in my body. We were eating junk food this month. Like, I mean, yesterday was chips and corn.
Don't say this here, Anya. Don't say this here.
No, and I can really feel like how I have less energy, and I feel also more frustrated. It's really like such a difference, actually. Yeah.
I think it's a big challenge, because for regular people, because we just eat because we're hungry, we want to eat something great. And also it's a good comfort thing, because if you eat some food, you can change your state immediately. How do you deal with this? For example, because for us, let's say that we want to get fitter as well, and probably someone else who is watching right now, what would you suggest to do? Because food is so good when it's like fatty and sweet and so on. What do you suggest to do? How can you shift this mentality?
Well, firstly, you need to have self-control. And how do you do that? Be more mindful, be more alert at the present moment. Why are you eating at that moment? So mostly also when I work with my clients, they say, I eat because I was bored, or I eat because I'm too lazy, and the sweets are right there at the table. And of course I'm gonna take it because it's convenient, and people also because they are emotionally down or something like that, and you feel the void with food, because yes, it's something primal, but you should be mindful of that. You should stop before you want to grab it and say, no, I'm gonna do it like different time this time, and it's like habits. You repeat it 20, 30, 40 times and you can change it. But mindfulness and being present at the moment, this is what in this world it lacks currently, I think. Because we are all distracted.
Yeah, we're going to talk for sure about this more, because it's an important topic. We have to have the reasons why. But Tore, what would you say?
The one thing too is what she said in the beginning as far as discipline. Discipline does not come easy, especially when it is something that you don't find enjoyment in. So for example, if you're doing something that you enjoy, you will have the discipline to continue. So if someone is doing a workout or want to get fit, but going through the process of getting fit isn't a journey that they enjoy, they will always make an excuse. And the first excuse is, of course, food. Food, as you mentioned before, it's very addictive. It can be, because it changes your mood very quickly. And so when it comes to a competitor, for example, we know that our goal is to look our best on stage. So that discipline automatically kicks in, and we just go through that process for the next 20 weeks. But someone who's on a journey of being fit for life, there's going to be ups and downs. And these ups and downs come at different waves in your life. And what makes the difference between you partaking in that slip up or not is your discipline that you have for how you want to be for the rest of your life. Because when you continuously slip up, you also allow yourself to be that person who allows others to slip up.
Wow.
So even if it's just within your business, so within your business, you will allow others to do it because you do it. You kind of live under that same umbrella. Now, I would suggest first and foremost, most of the time what happens is the body is usually thirsty or it's not hydrated, and we tend to go for the first thing we crave. So I've heard this a lot too, where people, if you're usually the first thing your body actually is thinking about is hydration, but we get tricked into thinking that we actually need something to eat. I mean, think about it. If you're a person that watches the television a lot, you are bombarded with commercials that talk about eating. So you're always in this mode to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you don't actually need it, but your mind is being conditioned into this state of, I need to eat. And your intestines and your organs are like, no, you don't. We're hydrated. We need hydration. We need rest. We need recovery.
We don't recognize the appetite and the hunger, actually. We think it's interchangeable.
Exactly. So yeah. So that's, I agree with the discipline and just being mindful, because your mind can control a lot of what your body does. Actually, it can control all of what your body does.
So it all starts actually with the food, right? Because everyone who's talking about being fit and having a healthy body start talking about how you should move and so on. But it's true, of course, but without really take care of what you're eating and especially how much you drink, right? It's also quite heavy to even move.
Yeah, no, for sure, it's very interesting what you said, because also now during this crowdfunding campaign, I conditioned myself that food equals taking a break. So like we were working so hard, and then when I eat, we can watch like maybe 20 minutes something and relax, and
Right.
so, and then was of course unhealthy food, but I was not even hungry, but I just wanted to relax. And so this is no unhealthy conditioning that I had in these last days that for sure I want to change again, because I feel really so full all the time and not good. But just by the way, we didn't say, you can comment, people, okay? Like if you also struggle with conditioning or unhealthy foods or not moving, let us know in the comments. Let's be vulnerable together, because that's how we can change our struggles together. And of course, then we have these great people on board today.
And we have a question from Lynn. She said, like, how do you stop yourself from being binge eating or eating too much when you're feeling anxious? So we actually kind of replied on this already, but maybe specifically for when you're feeling anxious, what can you do not to go for the food in this moment?
It's interesting, because I was just about to kind of touch that subject, because one thing that people tend to do is when you restrict yourself too much, it causes you to binge. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times people see on my Instagram or my social media, man, how are you eating that pizza and still look like that? Well, the thing is, I really understand or know how much calories my body needs, right? But if you are in a sort of a deficit for too long of a period, if you're in a deficit for too long of a period, your body tends to, I'm hearing it too. Your body tends to crave and want what you're missing, for example. Missing in the sense that, let's say you like to eat chips and salsa, and you just haven't had chips and salsa for weeks. And so when you do, you eat the whole bag. But if you were able to coordinate your day to where you had a little bit of it, the craving would not be there, because you actually were able to satisfy that necessary need. And you could satisfy it with something else that's similar as far as the sodium or whatever that your body is lacking from that combination. But what I'm getting at is, when it comes to this, for example, for like a lot of clients that I work with, we do like a 3-day, 6-day, or 5-day on a sort of a deficit. And then that 6th or 4th day, we go back to a maintenance level, because your hormones you want to kind of give your hormones a break so that they're not suppressing your metabolism too much, to where every time you are in a deficit, then you got to go more in a deficit, because now your body has adapted to that caloric deficit. So I like to switch it up. I feel that we should indulge a little here and there, just so that we don't have that need to want to binge, because yeah, binging can be very, very hard to stop. Because once you start, you're like, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna just keep going. And then now you feel bad the next day because you were eating 3,000 calories, for example, and now you just did 5,000 in one sitting, and now you're feeling bad about yourself. And most people tend to give up. They say, you know what? Forget it. It's just too tough for me. So you have to make it to where it's flexible enough that you are able to still enjoy your life, enjoy your food, and get the results that you're looking for. And it's possible. It just takes a lot of work and dedication. And you can go for walks. Walks are good.
I think that's very interesting because I see you many times eating these crazy good foods. And it's like really, like you said, how can you eat pizzas and these burgers and maybe even cakes when I see you eat sometimes and look so shredded? And I'm like, almost like, what, this shouldn't happen. But on the other hand, it's exactly, for example, this happens to me, like you said, that when I binge or when I start eating something that I really crave, for one day, maybe it's still okay. But if I do this for 2 days, for example, then I just like, what, it doesn't matter. I'm going to wait another couple of days and then I'm going to start on Monday, for example. And then I have a challenge how to start on Monday, go for a run, really do a session with the weights and stuff like that. And then again, start to eat clean. My biggest challenge is, and I talk with a lot of people, is the following, that you eat clean and then all of a sudden you eat something that's not actually should be on your plate. And then you just follow the vegan. And I think you replied this now, that you should actually every day somehow put the foods into your system until you, of course, can, based on the calorie input, right? And not have these cravings in such a high levels that you usually have when you really, really need some food.
Darren had a cool input. You should walk and eat pizza at the same time. In the gym to run and then you eat. Thank you, Darren.
That is our producer, and for sure he has good ideas.
Yes. Lara, do you also know people who have problems with binge eating, or did you even have it yourself, this problem, before being fit? And do you have something else to add than Tore said, maybe?
Yes, I totally agree. You should give your body a break, not hard break. So you got to dose it just right to keep your sanity up, So I'm totally agreeing. I eat chocolate almost every day, and with nuts, I mix it. And this is basically my standard dinner, and I cannot help myself because this is keeping me. I'm just so happy being vegan because I can eat a lot of nuts and I'm still shredded. So I guess this is kind of a reward for me. So you gotta what is really important for you, and you include this in your menu in doses, So these little small steps, little rewards keep you on the track. So if you follow the wagon with this, it's important that you don't take the situation as black and white. So you go as soon as possible back on track, and you don't punish yourself for it, because we are all human and we all make mistakes, and we all have hormone imbalances, and ghrelin as a hormone of hunger. You just got to listen to your body and do at the end what's right for you. So as I said before, be more mindful about the food. And of course, what is surrounding us, like the television and ads telling us we gotta eat that and this, and you just gotta be more patient and accept that this is the process, that everything you learned through the whole, some things are wrong and some things you are used doing, and that you just take time and do one thing at the time. So firstly, your eating habits, then your emotional eating, and you go and upgrade stuff. So I think, it's a process. It takes time.
I think we all learned something today, but in any case, I know that Tore, you would have to go soon, right? So I just have actually the last question for you is, if it's possible, do you still have 5 minutes or not really?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to ask you something about energy, because energy is a big part of everything in life. If you have energy, you can actually deal with these kind of things that we talk about now, or you can have something in business, you can achieve things. And if you don't have energy, then you sit at home, eat more food that you think they're going to give you energy, but not really. So how is the food connected with, or no, what is the most important thing, by your opinion, to have really a lot of energy? Is it food? Is it the sports? Is it like breathing? Is it water? What would you say is the most important for the energy levels to be high?
Rest.
We need more of them.
I say that because rest is something that a lot of people forget about, because they're so much on the go, and they don't recognize, even when it comes to fat loss, the more rest that you get, the more fat loss you'll have. And we tend to just want to build and build and build and never give the body enough time to rest and recover. Secondly, I would also, say that, certain foods, of course, all food is energy, because that's what it's called. Its calories are joules. Joules are energy, and that's an energy source. So your body needs energy in order to go through the day. Now, mind you, of course, the first source that people know of is carbohydrates. And I've always been one who can deal with high carbohydrate intake, but not everybody can, because their body metabolizes different. And as Laura talked about, we're all different. I think one thing that most people consider, they feel like everything is cookie cutter, where whatever I do, you could do. And that's not necessarily the case, because your body metabolizes food differently than mine does. And so, but rest would be my first thing to say, because when you are rested, you feel better the next day. When you're not well rested, you notice it, and it catches up with you later on. I think a lot of studies now are showing the importance of it, and they used to say people only needed 6 to 8, but now they're saying that it's more. And of course, everybody's different, unique, in that recall as well. But food wise, carbohydrates are a really good source of energy. Fruits, yes, enough sleep, and stretching and recovery, those types of things, mindset, meditation, all of these things. We know when we're stressed, we don't have energy, and you don't feel like doing anything, because you're so stressed about whatever event occurred probably 10 years ago that is still part of our psyche, and we consider it our mood. And now we take this mood and go everywhere in life with it. So we can change our personality, per se, because personality actually comes up from the mood that we create, that we actually decide we're going to live under. We can even affect how we go about our day, because I can take it back to one other thing, is when we tell ourselves what we are that day, we become it. So if you say, I am tired, or I am this, it tricks the mind and the body into, okay, this is what we truly are. So we have to become that. So you become what you say to yourself, as well as what you put into your body and how much rest you get. So it's my final thing I want to say is it all works together. So if it's all not in harmony, you will have an imbalance. So we need to work on this harmony within our body.
That's a great advice.
Very good, yeah. We really should be very mindful of all those things, and to not neglect one or the other, and really take time to incorporate all of them in our life. I have one last question for you, Tore.
Lara, then we go to you. Sorry,
yes,
but
then
yeah.
we have more time with you. Yes, so you will be part of the film Humankindness, Termo Dilemma. And when we contacted you like some months ago, why did you say yes? Or what did you think about it? Would be very interesting to hear.
Well, it's interesting. One of my mantras, one of the words are kindness, right? And humanity encompasses all, So, and I look at it as, I'm a person that's really more focused on the we than me. And when we can all work together to create a better world, it is almost, how can I say, it's an epic event. And the more people we can get to do this, the better. And it's also a great opportunity for me to just be involved as much as possible, because we all live a hectic lifestyle depending on what we do, and to be able to give back in some capacity is always a good thing to do. And so that's another reason I did it. So I also appreciate you guys even reaching out to me, because when I'm given the opportunity to share my story or my journey, I appreciate it, because, you know, you could have talked to anybody. You know, I'm grateful for any opportunity to do this. So, you know, it's a grateful or sense of gratitude to be able to be a part of something like this. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We're truly, truly grateful to have you on board, not just because you're a vegan bodybuilder, which is awesome by itself, but also because of your attitude, kindness, and yeah, like after we stopped talking to you the first time, we said to each other, oh my God, this
guy is cool.
Guy is so cool and so kind and so down to earth. It's amazing, because, you know, we only saw your videos and so on. So yeah, we're happy to have you on board, and very, very soon you're going to be interviewed for our film. And until then, what can we say? Thank you so much for now. Have a beautiful day.
Laura, pleasure meeting you.
Yes, thank you for taking the time to be with us.
Exactly.
Take care, guys.
Thanks so much, Tore. Have fun.
Bye, Tore.
Cheers. Okay, Lara.
Sorry for neglecting you a little bit, but Tore told us that he doesn't have so much time, so we squeezed him in. But
your mic is off. We don't hear you yet. Your mic.
Oh God. Yeah, no problem. I said I was an introvert, so I'm really more short in my answers.
But your answers are great, so we can't wait to now hear more of your insights, to talk about like how actually people can become more fit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what they can do.
Yeah.
So if you someone who is not so much involved into working on their body, what advice would you give to that person? How to start? Because we heard it's hard to not go back to eating bad, and then at the beginning you're maybe not so motivated, right?
And like you said before, you know, it's all about the momentum. When you have the momentum, when you go into this rituals, and you know what to do, and somehow it's okay. But how to even start? Because start is always the hardest. In which way would you say is the best?
Yes, well, I agree. You gotta start with a reason why. So everyone has their own reason why, which motivates them through journeys. So gotta start small. Then around that, your why, you build the steps, which should not be hard. So something like doing by the way. So maybe if you're not used to having breakfast, maybe in the morning, and you want to start with something fresh, something healthy, you prepare like maybe the other day the fruit basket, and you put it there in front of the fridge. So you know you won't open the fridge and drink cola maybe in the morning, but you will have a decent meal. So with this, you gotta be a self-critic enough so that you know where you are most lagging, where are your lagging points. So yes, like this, and depends on every person. That's why I'm like coach and psychologist all in one, so that you know exactly which are these points that you gotta improve on every human. Some people have the discipline, they know when to eat, but they don't know what to eat. So maybe don't try to complicate the recipes, which include like 20, 30, 40 ingredients, but start with 5 or 10 max. So you know exactly what to put, what to eat every day, so you're not overwhelmed with thinking about food every day. Maybe for some, like me, I enjoy doing intermittent fasting because I don't have time during the day and during the work to exactly eat. So I do it the other way around. So maybe there's a lot of different things the person should try, like the least the hardest thing, and then you put level up. Yes.
I mean, just we were preparing for this talk today, we were talking, you know, that it's not actually so hard to understand, you know, how to, let's say, lose weight or get fit, because mostly we know there is so many options that if you do just one option and do it fully, right, you have the capacity to really make it happen. But usually we know so much that we don't do anything afterwards at all.
Yeah. Also, wrong, right? Too much information sometimes, and then we just get confused. So I tell everyone, just do the basics first, and then you will complicate things with different supplements and yada yada yada. So firstly, like Tora said, everyone must be in some kind of harmony. So basics like sleep, food, water, sunshine, everything goes hand in hand.
Mhm.
And
And now
then
let's just talk about why, right? Because you said that there's many options. You can start with the harder one. You can try many things. You can see what works for you because it's not the same for every person. But secondly, the reason why. Why do you think it's so important to be fit? Because we asked this question before, but how can a person who is not fit right now, how can he get or she get motivation to really change the lifestyle, let's say, because this is one of the hardest things to do. We are used to doing some things and we don't want to change. So how can you motivate a person, because you said you're also a psychologist, or how can you actually find the reason why would this person get fit?
Gotcha. So you have different profiles of people. Some people want to see things measured, so they will only be satisfied when they see few kilograms will go off, or they measure the circumcised things, and they will feel good when they see that the number is lower or something like that. Other people will want to know, what exactly do I get from this? So you will feel better, you will do things that you do normally in everyday life so much easier, like walking upstairs, not getting out of breath and stuff like that.
Heart attack.
Yes. So these practical things in everyday life, or like quality time, you can join some things together, like listening to podcasts and running, maybe for people who don't have time. So you do something for yourself and enjoy it. So yes, motivation is you gotta motivate yourself every day, because motivation someday will be gone. So actually you gotta use the motivation to build healthy, strong habits, and then this habit will continue to be the reason why you work out.
First, you need to start. Usually, people have to find this threshold, where it's too painful to see themselves, for example, being, let's say, fat, or when they see, or when someone says to them, you don't look so good anymore, or you look better, or you look thinner before. Some small comments, something needs to happen, and then we start, and then you need to know why you're doing these kind of things, like we say, right? And then the habit will actually do. Now we have a question here from a listener, and you might be the one to help. Yeah.
How can I tone my arms at home without going to the gym? Lynn wants to know.
Oh, well, I also started with street workout. So using your own body weight is more than enough. You just got to do more of eccentric movement, and more of statics, and also you gotta do the movements that look easy but they are not. So basically it's a bit harder, but maybe with some pull-ups, and do on the slow way back the movement. But arms are specific. So arms do everything. When you do something for your back muscles, for your chest, they do in synergy. So if you want to isolate the arms, it's much better to go on the weights, and the process will go much quicker than if you do the body weight at home. It's like girls who want to grow just their glutes, but they don't know that if the same movement goes also for the thigh muscles. So you cannot naturally grow a big glutes without having other muscles activated. So for the isolation only for arms it's mostly effective to go in gym, but it's not necessary. You can start with pull-ups, and then you see what you activate the most, and you combine the exercise as you wish. Depends on the results. So yes, pull-ups are the most effective way for biceps, or dips for the triceps.
Okay, Lynn, now we know what to do. Let's see in 1 month what happens. Let's keep you up to date.
We will talk.
Yes. But secondly, what I hear often from people, for example, I just want to lose weight in the tights.
Yeah, in this
I
area,
just want to lose the belly and so on. Yeah. So what would you say to these people?
Yes, it's really hard that you can spot reduce the weight, but some studies have been shown that you can also, to some extent, you can reduce the fat on the certain area you want, but of course you cannot target. You cannot say, I'm going to lose it here. It depends on your body and your fat distribution, where it is hanging the most. So women, we have mostly on the lower side, bottom, and guys have like around the stomach area. So overall, it goes like this: when you are in a deficit, you lose weight. So you lose weight, but depends which fat will go first, where it's the most accumulated, mostly. Yeah, so you just got to do the cardio and also do the weights, because the weights are essential if you want to build lots of muscles, which are passive. They are well, they use a lot of energy. So yeah, you gotta first build muscle, and then you can play with losing fat.
But that's not now. This leads me to a very famous question, because now we're told about if you want to gain more muscles, you should add the weights. But as a vegan, how can you build the muscles? Because my brother, he started with workout I don't know, a year ago, and he went also vegan. And at the beginning, he had really challenges because he's super thin, no matter what he's eating. And now as a vegan, he feels like it's even harder. So what advice would you give to people like him? How can he get really muscular and bulked on a vegan diet and working out?
Of course, a proper training program, like the proper volume and intensity, of course, because you cannot expect that your biceps is gonna grow if you do it the whole year, the curls with 10 kilos. So the food is very important. I was eating like nuts. I remember when I was 44 kilos, I was anorexic, and then in 2 years I got 20 kilos on a vegan diet. Wow. I ate like crazy. So people don't understand that the volume of the proper food, which is actually food, so the real food, non-processed, is a lot. So they are used to eating mostly processed food, which is lower in volume, and that's why they are satisfied more quickly. So yeah, you gotta do some smoothies first, so you easier chug the 1,000 calories in 1 liter of food. Yes, and there's a lot of reasons. Depends on every client is, as I said, different, and you gotta see who is gaining the muscles faster, and who needs just more sleep, and the other things are okay, but they are lacking sleep, for example. So these kind of variants are really important. So you gotta play a bit with the stuff, but food, yes, it's really hard to eat at first. I remember when I come home and I had dinner like this huge bowl of nuts and legumes and vegetables. I needed to be sitting there for an hour and
to finish.
Yeah, takes some more time, but of course, it's an investment. So yes.
Of course, you need to know why for sure, right? Because we have all different challenges. And like you said now, for example, for your brother, I cannot connect to this because I always eat too much and I can easily sit 2 hours and eat something if I like.
He too, but he doesn't gain weight. That's the challenge.
It's really interesting how different we are, right?
Yeah.
And how is this, let's say, vegan way of living and vegan way of growing muscles connected to health? Is it healthy to be vegan? Is it healthy to eat vegan when you're also very active? Can you be very active? Can you have enough energy when you're vegan? What do you think?
Yes, I believe so, because the body is not, it doesn't need so much detoxifying from the other harmful stuff, which we usually get from food. So I think the regeneration is faster. You also need less money and time for cooking, I think. So it's kind of, and being fit in general and also being vegan, I think it's the future, actually. If everyone wants to be fit, we're gonna grow and be more happy when the whole world will be in this mindset, not in this meat mindset. You gotta eat meat to have meat. Yes, it's like, it's just so natural to me. It's hard to explain because this was like I was more enthusiastic about it like 10 years ago when I was starting with veganism, and I was like, yes, I know the reason why, but it just comes naturally. And how can I say, it's not that hard that people think it is. You just gotta just gotta use your brain. I don't know what to say. Well, yeah.
Lynn said, exactly, vegan bodies do not have to digest dead animal flesh, which is very difficult for bodies to digest. I for sure can say when I was not vegan, I felt way more tired. I felt way more bloated the whole day and just, I had less energy. So for me, it was for sure a huge shift in my body when I went vegan. And it's very true what Lynn says.
It's also interesting that people usually talk about proteins, that if you're vegan, you cannot get enough proteins. This is, of course, funny, and we can talk about this, but maybe in some other occasion, because you can get proteins with apples as well, bananas, whatever. But why do you think people are so focused on what you cannot get as vegan? And do they have some point? Are there some things that you cannot get as vegan?
Yes, I think it's the fitness and medical propaganda that you cannot get because they are threatened by actually losing clients. And people do want to have like good reasons for their unhealthy behavior. So I guess we are always using the reasons why to stay in our comfort zone. And of course, I believe that people are concerned, especially when their children are wanting to try the vegan diet. But the fact is that overpopulating our medical centers, so the problem is somewhere else. And yes, I believe that they just don't want to try it because they will get scared that they are not right and that they won't have the reason when they try it that everything will be okay, and then they wouldn't be able to get back on the comfort zone. So I guess it's about the habits. If you don't expect that you will change anything if you do it the same all the time. So yes, it's the first step that it's the hardest, but people also don't know the reason why they are trying it. They're just trying it by the way. I'm gonna be vegan for one day and I will see what this does.
Yeah.
I mean, you were poisoning yourself for a whole life, and you expect that something which you said it's not a miracle, but still you kind of put the, I don't know, put the, yeah, I don't know. People just lie to themselves. It's hard. It's just human psychology 101. It's yeah.
Yeah, mostly it's traditions, habits. People have their own mind that they think they believe, what they hear. And just to be very clear, when you talk about proteins, you can clearly see that this is actually B word, because you never see people in hospitals like being deficient because of proteins. It doesn't happen in countries where you have enough food, enough calories, right? So
yeah, exactly.
By logic, you can see that there's many other misunderstandings. But now we will do something together, Lara, because we want also our viewers to get something today concretely out of this. We were thinking about some challenge for a homework for them, but do you have maybe a challenge for our viewers? How to become fit? One challenge. How do you think of it?
To become fit.
Can we do something together right now, for example? And that can be an example what you can do every day or what you should do more and so on.
I wanted to do planks, but we thought you for sure have something better.
Yeah, like the basic movements, the push-ups, the hanging stuff, depends on how much room do you have. And some squats, but it's hard for people to do squats because they're all tied up. So yes, I guess the plank or some crunch exercise would be perfect, or just standing on one leg maybe and picking up something from the floor. So, or going
Let's do it. We're gonna take a pen each, and we're gonna take something from the floor.
Or we want to be taught by you. You lead the challenge, and we will follow. Everyone who is watching.
Let's do it for 1 minute, and then we come back.
Oh God.
So tell us what to do.
Oh well. So you go with your straight back. Firstly, put one leg up in the air, and then squeeze your abs and go slowly distributing the pressure all over the foot, not just on the heel or on your fingers, and try slowly to pick up a pen or whatever you have from the floor. And with straight back, also on one leg, you straighten yourself up. Like 10 times maybe. Just stuff. It's always fun. Like as a coach, I'm always having some tricks and that seem easy but are not. So I think the balancing stuff on one leg, on one arm is it's okay to try.
For sure, seems easier when you talk about it, but when you try, of course, and 10 times, for example, it's for sure good. Yeah.
Those who could do it once, write it because I failed. Very interesting.
But it's funny, these things are actually like small and fun and so on. But if you really do these kind of things, just what we did right now, right? Every day, 10 times, and then repeat a couple of times. This is a series already. You can for sure improve, and you can get better in this is for the S muscle. How do you say this? The glutes. And for the back and for the quadriceps as well, and so on, for sure, and for the balance. So in any case, we know enough right now already, to get fitter, right? But we just need to start, and then of course experiment, and of course learn and get better and better. And thank you for this challenge. But Anya had another one.
Yeah, we have actually another challenge because we really thought what can we do, and we did not get an answer very fast. Then Matej came up with something very different. I bet most of you never heard about that. It is quite out of comfort zone. We talked yesterday about it, but we believe that this will really give you some uncomfortable situation so that you will want to lose weight and become fitter. Matej will explain.
So when I heard this challenge, I mean, this is not even a challenge. This is just, for example, saying when you get a little bit of weight, which I can relate to in the last month because we were not very active and physically. When you get a bit fitter, a bit fatter, let's say, then you cannot get in some pants, for example, or you cannot get in some shirt. Whatever it is, usually people go to one option. That is actually the worst. You buy bigger pants, or you buy bigger shirt. And because of the shirt is bigger, you cannot see your stomach and you feel better, and somehow life is good, but not really, because you're actually just like lower your standards and you actually get fatter. You just take different.
Or you just buy leggings which are stretchable and it's okay for.
Yes, and then this is the solution. I feel better. But what we can do right now, all of us, is the following. If, of course, you're struggling like I am struggling right now, that I have a little bit too much belly fat, then we should go into the shirt that we want to fit in. And if you have a shirt at home that you fit before, or pants that you fit before in these pants, and now you cannot anymore, and you're thinking about I don't know, throwing them away and buying a new pair, don't do it. Just a second.
Battery is empty.
Don't give up.
You can do something else.
We're still here.
Okay. So we are getting back. What we can do, technology these days.
Technology is also a challenge.
It's fun. Anyway, what you can do these days is that you get these pants that are actually too small, or this skirt that is too small, and you try to fit into these pants. Of course, even today, we're not talking about like in 2 months, maybe today, fit into these pants and walk around. Show yourself in front of your spouse. Show yourself in front of maybe some other people. Go to the store in this. You don't need to do this, but you also don't need to lose weight or get fit. But if you want to get fit, then this is the way to go, because you're going to feel uncomfortable. And also it's going to be part of motivation. Like Lara said before, some people need the motivation with feeling that something is changing, to measure my belly is smaller, or to see that, I improve all the time. And I'm for sure one of those people. So take the shirt, or if you don't have the shirt, go and buy it tomorrow. Find the shirt that you like really, really much and buy, I don't know, one number smaller. Or two, and say, you know what, I want to fit into this. And this is your goal. So this is the challenge from our side, because we believe this can work really well. And also it's a lot about the standards, that we don't put our standards down, put our kilograms up, and then just...
And really wear this garment during the whole day. I did this by accident and put on a pants that I thought I still fit in, because I did not realize that I gained weight. No, I didn't realize I gained weight. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, that's tight. I wore it the whole day, and believe me, whenever I wanted to eat something fatty, I was like, no, I already now don't fit in. I don't want to. So this will remind you on where you want to go. And so get it 1 or 2 pairs sizes smaller, wear it for a day, 2, then wash it and wear it again until you're motivated every day to do the change.
So Lara, is this approved by you?
Yes, I approve it. Or you can also find a picture of you maybe 5-10 years ago when you were in shape, and that's your motivation. You compare just with yourself. So I guess that's some healthy self-love.
We had exactly this comment by Christoph, who said, what can help is if you had your perfect body ages ago and you still have photos from that time, get them, watch them, burn the pictures in your mind and take them as your goal. Another meaning of back to the roots. Beautiful. That's exactly what Lara said.
We should always strive for getting better. And sometimes when for example, 20 years afterwards, when you see yourself, oh, I was so fit, I was so thin, I was so, I don't know, athletic, it maybe is almost a bit disencouraging. And the last question for you, Lara, what to do when you really feel like, oh my God, this is too far-fetched. I cannot get there anymore because I'm too old, because I'm too whatever. What is your suggestion for these people, how to move them from the couch?
It's about the progress, not the perfection. So people mostly take it as black or white. So we go 110% in or nothing at all. But as I said before, it's about the small steps. You see where you want to improve, and it depends on your wish. What is the actual goal you strive for? So, of course, getting better every day by 1% is enough. So, yes, you are never too old to be fit, and you're never too old to be in a better mood that you are now. So I guess you got nothing to lose. You just gotta keep the positive mindset and don't have too high expectations. So that's why you shouldn't compare with others, but with the point you are currently on. So I guess that's the most healthy thing you can do.
I think it's so important, like nowadays where we have Instagram and like all this social media, to not compare yourself to all these other people, but to compare yourself daily with your version of yesterday and to make the progress from there. Matej said it's the last question, but I have, I think, one last question for you. I asked it Tore, and I will ask you also. You decided to be part of the film Humankindness when we asked you, which we are super grateful for. Why did you say yes when we showed you the trailer and we asked you, Lara, do you want to be in this film?
Well, I was so grateful and thrilled that you thought of me, and it's kind of an honor to show people all of my work and energy, what I put in the last 10 years. So showing people that we can do much better, it's an honor that I can speak about the veganism and bodybuilding and hopefully make people do some changes. And
We're certainly
for the planet and for the animals as well. So of course I will be so happy that if I will inspire at least one person, I won. I think so.
We couldn't be happier to have you on board, for sure. Like I said before, for Tora, not just because you're a bodybuilder, female bodybuilder, you have an amazing physique. Check her profile, by the way, on Instagram, Facebook. You can see what I'm talking about. But secondly, also because you're very, very kind, very humble, and you want to help to change the world. And what I really liked about Lara today, for example, is the fact that she's talking about small steps. If you improve every day just 1%, if you help one person, if everyone would help one person, inspire one person, if everyone would really improve 1% a day, oh my God, it's such a small idea, but it's such a big, big, big conclusion. Every day in 3 months, you're 100% better. This is crazy almost. So thank you, Lara, so much for being our guest today. We're going to slowly conclude this interview, this talk, but tomorrow we're talking about spirit, and we're going to be very happy to give you something back in this direction as well. We are today currently, I think, at 47,500 euros, which is amazing. And thank you so much to everyone who helped us to get so far. For sure, we're going to do our best that we're going to make this film as big as possible in the best possible way to present this to the masses with the help of our amazing interviewees, with people who actually deserve this place to be here and deserve this place to be seen by many, to be inspired and to change the world.
Yeah, and also people, as we said at the beginning, the crowdfunding campaign is running until this Wednesday. So you have still like 3 days to go to contribute. Not long. It's getting urgent. Many people said we will do it when it gets a bit closer. Now is your chance to help this film to become really huge for the masses, that Lara and Torres and all these other amazing people's voices will be heard by the biggest streaming platforms, cinemas, festivals, etc. So click on the link that you see here down below.
Or in description.
In the description. Give a huge, huge follow to Our Šušmelj, Tore Washington, and leave us a comment if you didn't yet. Thank you so much for watching. We're overwhelmed. And the cat is here.
Yeah. Lara, thank you so much for being our guest. And of course, we're going to talk very, very soon. But until next time, live with kindness. Yes. And thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful.